Hi out there to the Alpha 1 community. My name is Ann. I want to talk real quick about liver disease in Alpha 1. My husband was diagnosed with Alpha 1 liver disease in October of 2013. We had no idea he was sick at all until he was hospitalized, just feeling horrible, and his doctor said he was bleeding internally, get to the ER. That's when we found out that he had cirrhosis and would need a transplant. And a day or two later, his GI doctor did the test for Alpha 1, and we found out he's a ZZ, and that's what caused it. He had no lung damage at all, which I know was unusual. But I just wanted to let you know that sometimes alphas have very low MELD score, regardless of how sick they actually are. It's actually stated in some literature. But it's hard to get moved up the list because sometimes those MELD scores stay low even as you get sicker and sicker. My husband was transplanted in November last year, 2014. After a little over a year from diagnosis, he was very sick. He had rapid decline. The transplant team had told him, see you in a year after he was listed. Well, little did they know that it would less than a year he would have already gotten a new liver. During that time, he had his gallbladder out, and that made him get worse. He had the TIPS procedure, which didn't really help. He had severe ascites, portal hypertension. He had 2 bleeds, the first one, and then a second one that was pretty scary. And severe muscle wasting. He was bad, and his MELD score never reached above a 13 with the calculated score. We asked the team 3 times to request for exception points. 2 times they said no. The 3rd time they agreed, and it was actually granted, which they were surprised. So it's not a guarantee, but it's worth a shot. And that's after we did research. There's not a lot out there about Alpha 1, but I will post in the comment section below this video what we found in case that would be helpful to you. I called UNOS, I called Alpha 1 Foundation, Liver Foundation, I called doctors' offices who are experts, although they couldn't help me because he wasn't their patient. But we did all that we could to try to find evidence for the basis of our request for more points. At Jeff's transplant, his MELD score was an 11 calculated. With those exception points, he was able to get the new liver, and the liver looked like about a 30 when they took it out. So it is a problem with alphas, and the doctors need to be made aware of that. If they're not, it's a hard situation, though, because they say everybody has ascites or HE or portal hypertension, all these things that don't make your case exceptional, except that it is different. Less than 1/2% of people waiting for a liver in the country are because of Alpha 1, and some of those are pediatric. So it's even smaller if you look at adult cases. So this needs some attention. You might have to educate your doctors and really show them some information. I will even post information about the lady who is the liaison to the Liver and Intestinal Transplant Committee at OPTN, who makes the rules, basically, in case you want to write her and ask them to look into this. I did that, but there needs to be more than one person. Anyway, this has been long enough. Thanks for listening, and I hope this helps somebody at least a little bit.